Howdy on Wolvex Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. Alright, so I have got to get my hands on... Oh. Oh, right. I was like, why am I so loaded down with stuff? But that's because I was putting my stuff in my bags so that I made sure I didn't lose various things that I wanted to keep. And I think there was some looting happened as well. Let's see here. I don't know why I could keep that gold and stuff. There's no way to sell it to. Alright, so a couple of things I want to make happen. One is I would like to get that last machine gun part I need. And I would like to... Will you go down the ladder? I would like to start thinking about getting some defenses in place around my tower here. I mean, it's got some already because I built inside of an existing... Oh, I got a straggler here. Of an existing place. I think these are respawns, not stragglers. So, oh. Ooh, look at that. They did take out some more pillar stuff. Look at this, had a box in it to stop it from not having support. That's gone. And a whole bunch of boxes are missing from here. Ooh, they tried. Oh, we still got a little day after daytime horde. Come on, I need the XP, so bring it. No D&D this week. We, not we, but the guy who runs it was busy with a meeting. And so he had to run a meeting at work. And, well, he didn't run the meeting. He made sure that the Zoom call worked, because where he works, he's like the IT person. He's not the IT person. They don't have an IT person. He's the person who knows about IT as well as what he normally does. And so they had a meeting that needed to be done last night, but it required... Honestly, we could have done D&D last night. He just... It happens every once in a while. He will be like, oh, well, I got this work thing, right? We don't start D&D until like 9:30, and then at 9 he'll be sending me messages, hey, I'm ready to talk about stuff, because we read the comics every week and talk about them. And so, yeah, he gets home early enough to do it. He just uses as an excuse not to do it. He didn't have time to prepare, is what he says. But I've played in his games. He doesn't prepare. That's not nice to say. Let's go check this spot today, I guess, for gun bits. Gun bits. That is what I'm looking for. Gun bits. Since last episode, I failed to find gun bits. Yeah. So yeah, no D&D to talk about. So I'm excited for the new D&D book. 22 new subclasses. Well, my DM, I tell you, we did talk about D&D last night, and he was talking about how if there was something good in the new book, he'd let us swap out what we're doing now for stuff in the new book. And I'm like, I don't really want to do that. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, we've got our characters. I think we should just stick. Like, I'm not saying you can't, you know, like if they've updated a subclass or they've got new feats or spells, that's different. That's something that you earn later. But to just swap out like your class or stuff, that doesn't seem right. Um, I mean, I know we're a long way from being done with this adventure, but still, I don't want to be swapping stuff, major stuff like that out. Now, if there's like an update to a subclass, uh, then when you reach the appropriate level, or maybe you swap it out for the new version of the current subclass you have. Like, for example, he's playing an artificer. It's a relatively new class, and apparently there's been some tweaks to it in the new book. Or maybe they added a new subclass in the unofficial Arcana. That's not what it's called. What's it called? The Unearthed Arcana. That's what they call it. So D&D does this thing where they will come up with some new stuff, but they've got to test it, right? And so they'll work on it at the company, and then they will put it out as Unearthed Arcana, and so then people can use the beta version of the rules, and then they have questionnaire that you fill out about a month or two later, and then they take the feedback from people who have played it, who tell them what's good, what's not, and then they fix it, and then if it makes it into the next set of books, it makes it in the next set of books. If not, then it goes away forever. And so um, the I think one of the Artificer subclasses is currently an Unearthed Arcana, and they're changing some of the rules to it, which I know our DM, the character that he plays, is an Artificer, but I don't think he's that kind of Artificer, so I don't think it matters. You'd think I would know. We're level 10 with these characters. You'd think that after 10 levels I might have paid enough attention to know what everybody's class was, but I honestly don't know. I know he's an artificer, and the other guy is a rogue, a thief. But I don't know what kind of thief, and I don't know what kind of artificer. If I had to guess, I would say actual thief and battlesmith. Whichever one comes with a robot dog is the one he's playing. It's super annoying too. I hate when he's got a class with pets because he takes 3 times as long on his turn. Plus he's running the thing, so he's everything is super slow. Because he's got to narrate every little thing he does. And I don't mean like, it's your turn. I'm going to draw my sword, say the command word to activate the fire. I'm going to rush at this guy, move your token over. And then I'm going to, take a big swing, which means I'm going to subtract 5 from my accuracy and do 10 extra points if I hit. And then, if that hits, okay, well then I will take a second swing, regular swing this time though, and you take your turn, right? That's fine. That's a turn narration. That's not a big deal. I thought this was going to be all snowy, and then I got here, it's not snowy at all. I guess I thought this was snow, and it's not. This town appears in the snow, though. Also, I'm not seeing a lot in the way of guns. But no, he'll be like, alright, so I'm gonna move my guy over here, and then I'm gonna, well, if I attack with my bow, then I can't use this other ability, and if I move over here though, then I get attacked maybe on the next turn, and I don't want to put my guy there because then he might get attacked. And so he talks through his reasoning on what he's actually going to do on his turn, and it takes forever. And I get that, he is running the game, so he's probably needs some extra time to think about what he's gonna do. But he does it for the bad guys. He does it for the guy he's controlling. And then he's got this, dog thing, and there's so much narrating his decision process, and he's not fast at making the decisions. I once played a game. I don't know what that game is called. It's some kind of card game that uses a board, and as you... Alright, let's go this way, see if we can hit that road. I'll take that road up to that other town and see if we can find something up there. As you play, you put tokens down on the board to claim the spots, and so I guess I should probably get a puffer coat to wear if I'm going to go into winter territory like this. I've seen puffer coats, I just didn't get one to go with me. So I played with this guy. I've only played it the one time, and there were only 3 of us. There were a bunch of people at this party. It was a card party, and so there were too many people to play the main card game. And so what they do is they would play the main card game, and then 4 or 5 of the other people would sit out, and then the winners would then face the next group of people. And so we were playing this other game. I want to say it's called Sequence, maybe. All I remember is it had something to do with cards and claiming spots on the table. That's all I remember. And every time we got to that dude's turn, there are only 3 of us playing. Every time we got to that dude's turn, he'd be like, huh. And then he would like look at each of the cards in his hand and place them on the table, face down. And then he'd be like, so what did you do on your turn? And then you tell him. And then he turn to the next person. So what did you do on your turn? Huh. And then he'd pick up his cards and he'd look at each of them. And then he'd go back and be like, so you placed a card here on your turn? Yep. Huh. And then he'd go back to look at his cards. And he'd turn to the next person. And this is where you placed your cards on your turn? Yep. Huh. And then he'd go back to look at his cards some more. And it was just like every time. And then the whole time I'm just like, all right, if they move there, this is what I'm going to do. And if I move there, then that's probably what they're going to do. But I think it'll be okay if I move there. And so it gets to my turn. I'm like, I do this and this and this and this. Done. Yeah. Oh, looks like I've already looted this place. Yep, the empty bookcase. Had to check. Need to find a coat. Gonna go off down this road. I guess I've been here before, so let's see where this road takes, because this is an unknown territory. And so it's like that playing the D&D game sometimes, and I'm just like, oh, could you just make a decision? Although when he does make a plan ahead of time, then it involves betraying your party to jump out a window and fly away so you can't be attacked, and leave the rest of your party to die. So I've told that story before. I'm still irritated about it, and it's been years ago. I tell it again. I like telling it. I'll do it short though. We broke into a castle that was preparing for a party, because I thought that would be the best time that we could sneak in, was to look like we were staff. And we get in there, and it was a trap, and the trap got sprung. I don't know if it was really a trap. I feel like our DM just did that so we'd have an encounter. I don't understand how it could have been a trap. Like, how would they have known we were coming, kind of thing. Like, we hadn't done anything to trip them at that point, I don't think. But anyways, trap is sprung, and there's a ton of bad guys. A ton. Like, and they weren't like normal bad guys. So there's like 30 orcs in the room, and half of them were special orcs that were even more powerful than regular orcs. And you guys got a coat? I could really use a coat. And so my DM, I was excited there for a second. I get excited every time I see parts now. Are they the parts? The guy who's the DM, not of that game, but the guy who's my DM now, he says when the DM of that game puts down some wizards, he's like, whatever you do, you got to get to the wizards. and everything else we can take care of. I'm like, okay, and I went first. I'm the big fighter in the particular game, and so I do a lot of damage rapidly. Oh shoot! Oh shoot! I don't want to fall down in there. Just want to come over here to this box. And so I asked the DM, would it be possible for me to leap over the heads of the orcs because they were coming up a set of stairs and we were on the second floor, and land in the blank space by the wizard, the one wizard. And he said, sure. And I'm like, all right, so you're sure about this? We need to get to these guys first because I feel like all these orcs coming might be a bit of an issue. And the wizard guy, who's my current DM, is like, oh no, yeah, we gotta get to the wizards first. So I leap my guy down into the middle of all those orcs, landing next to the wizard, and attack the wizard, doing a lot of damage to him. Not enough to kill him, but a lot of damage. And so I'm imagining in my head, right, the wizard probably going to cast like fireball on all those orcs and wipe out most of them. And then even if I get knocked down at this point, you know, I could probably last at least a couple of rounds down in there, and then that gives everybody time to clean up those orcs and then get to me, and then we'll be good to go. No, that's not what happens. The only guy in our group with massive AoE spells goes, I've got what you're after, and then teleports out a window, and then uses a massive teleport spell. He uses a emergency teleport spell to teleport outside the window, and then uses this massive teleport spell to send himself like a mile away. Oh wow. Oh no. Dang it. I am so far from this place. Dang it. That wolf just chewed me up. And then he flies away and he leaves us. And like, while I thought it was weird that the bad guys in this particular town would have a trap waiting for us when they didn't even know we were there, they were definitely confused when some guy they don't know says, I've got the thing you want, and they don't know what he's talking about. Okay, so I guess the route I just took is probably the best route to get my stuff back. Yeah. And so even to this day, I'm still like, why would you do that to your party? Why? It wasn't even like a good plan. He's like, well, I thought that they were after these gems that I had. Well, how do they know you had the gems? You didn't show it to them. You didn't talk to them. They don't know who you are. Well, I didn't know. I just thought maybe they'd come after me. Why didn't you throw a fireball in the middle of all those bad guys? Oh, that's right. You don't attack with your wizard. It was an insane game, let me tell you. It's actually up on my channel. That's the one D&D game that I put up on the channel. You can see what happened, but the arguments afterwards. But so yeah, so we chatted about D&D last night, a little bit. Not about that, but about swapping out things. I don't like to do that. We talked about he said, well, what if there's like a really powerful weapon in the book? I'm like, well, A, the only weapons we've got are the ones we've bought, and I already have a really powerful weapon because you wouldn't let me take the normal weapon. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, remember when I wanted a +2 weapon to replace my +1 weapon? And you were like, no, that's too powerful. I'm not ready to let you have that. So instead, you gave me a sword that does +12 damage of fire. And he's like, yeah, I shouldn't let you have that. I'm like, no kidding. He's like, well, I'll take it back now. I'm like, no, you're not. It's mine now. You made that choice. You made your bet, I said. Uh, I mean, most things are resistance to fire. I'm like, sure. I had a +1 weapon. I want to replace it with a +2 weapon. So that's one extra point of damage I would be doing. But you're like, no, it's too powerful. And instead, you gave me a weapon that does a minimum of +2 and a maximum of +12. So at best, I roll double ones on the fire, and your resistant creature takes 1 damage, which is the exact same thing as my +1 sword that I already had. I mean, sure, I've got a little bit less accuracy, which is my real goal was. So my real goal was to get the +1 or the +2, which would then make my big swing basically a -3 from the roll instead of a -5. That was it. That was what I wanted. That's why I wanted to change out. And so now I just don't take big swings because the big swings are extra 10 damage. I mean, I still take them occasionally. Are extra 10 damage, and the fire blade does between 2 and 12 on its own extra damage. So man, one of these days, especially now that we've hit level 10 and I've swapped out some abilities, I can do an attack that knocks the creature to the ground. And so I'll probably be trying that out. Attack, knock creature to the ground. If they fail, they're on the ground. I get to roll advantage on my next attack. And then we'll get to roll advantage on any melee attack when they're on the ground. And then I feel like I'm moving so slow now. And then I'll do some big swings. And when one of those hits for, I mean, he gets only 10 extra damage. I don't know. Once again, the numbers aren't that big a deal. He makes it seem like a big deal, and it feels cool in the moment, but in the long run, 10 extra damage is not that amazing. Half the time, you're only like a couple of points off of killing something, anyways. So I don't know. Especially with my abilities that let me take an extra attack if I kill something. I don't know. I feel like the tactics we employ are better at dealing with the bad guys than an extra point of damage that he thought was too powerful. Yeah. I was disappointed we didn't get to play last night, though, because we just hit level 10, and I wanted to. We were going to a new floor. New floor. That's how come we didn't play last night, because we're going to a new floor, and he hasn't looked at it yet. Although I've been a slacker, too. I really wanted to put together a campaign for us to start playing so that he doesn't have to run it every week. And I've been meaning to, and I've been thinking about it. And I've gotten out. I bought a bunch of stuff off of Humble Bundle. They got a bunch of they've had some Humble Bundles of 5th edition D&D adventures, and so I've purchased those, and so I've been looking through the ones I've purchased because our DM has no desire to play them because it would require him to put an effort, because they're not pre-purchasable on, because that's why we play on Roll20, because he can buy the adventure on Roll20, and then the maps and everything are preloaded for him, and so there's not a lot I don't think that he has to do for us to play the game, because he doesn't even read the books ahead of time, because he never understands how things are going to work until we're at that moment, and then he misses out on all the things leading up to it. I'm still super disappointed that we aren't getting the rumors and stuff that we're supposed to get to lead us into the minor story that's in this adventure. And so there's just no story, and we're just hacking our way from floor to floor, and I don't know why we're doing it. I'm we're playing a game. I know why we're doing it. I don't know. There's no motivation for our characters to be down in there. Like, we have money, we have our own place in the city. It makes it could, we haven't opened it to the public. It could make enough money um, to to sustain us and itself, should we open it to the public. And but the and we've got thousands of gold. It's like 300 gold. I think it's like 350 gold a year, according to the book, to rent a house. So my guy has like 15 years worth of household expenses and rent on him. So we are not, and we already own a house, so we're not even renting the place. We own it. It would just be expenses. And so we probably got 20, just my guy has 20 years, and there's 4 of us. So we would have 80 plus years, and guaranteed that my character would be dead at that point because he's normal lifespan. Plus, on top of that, one character's a high level bard, so he's never going to be hurting for money. And the other guy's an artificer, so we don't need to be down in here looking for anything. And I don't know. I feel like these last couple adventures haven't had enough of a story to make me understand why people would do anything. As much as I hated the way he ran Princes of the Apocalypse, I feel like that's the last really good adventure we played through. All right, I'm almost there. I'm almost. Oh, well, I was gonna get there, but now I'm trapped on this tiny. Okay. But yeah, it's it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, oh shoot, I forgot. I totally forgot about that wolf that killed me dead. Okay, I rode my bike over here and I wasn't affected by the rain and the cold. But now that I stopped for 2 seconds, I'm affected by the rain and the cold. Good thing I was getting all that warmth out of riding that bicycle. Alright, wolf. That thing hits so hard. It took 40 hit points off me with one bite. We kill this wolf, though. Or it's going to disappear. One of those two things. Nope. It's still here. Whew. Yeah. 50 hit points. It knocked 50 hit points off me with one bite. That's insane. Alright, well, I guess this is probably what I'm going to call it for today. Hopefully we can find that last machine gun part here, and then I'll just have a decent rifle that I can kill things like that with. So with that, be better than the small things, lean to the light. I will talk to you later.